What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make your own bass jigs. We can save so much money buying our own jigs. It is unbelievable. I can make a jig for the cost of about $1. That's including the melting pot, the hooks, the brush guards, and the skirts. $1. Most jigs, the jigs that I was fishing, all cost upwards of $5, if not more. And today I'm going to teach you guys how to make your own jigs to save yourself a buttload of money. So, first thing we have here is a melting pot. I already have some lead melted in there. Got to have some hooks. And this is the mold that we're going to be pouring with today. This is a do-it mold, Arky style jig. Just kind of feel like that jig style head is best suited for the kind of fishing that I want to do. I can also turn these into chatterbaits if I wanted to. That's going to be a different video. Let's get started. We'll start pouring some jigs up and start saving some money. Now, I cannot stress enough the safety when you're dealing with melted lead. I work for a battery company, and the hazards that come along with working with lead are not something you want to take lightly. I highly suggest gloves. If you're not doing it outside, a mask of some sort. I'm sure there's lead-rated masks. Safety glasses, which, of course, we're not going to wear any of that today because I don't have any of that. But just as a disclaimer, please, guys, don't mess around with this stuff. It is not something you want to get burned by or get lead poisoning. I had some lead left over from the last time that I poured, but I want to show you guys from the beginning how to do this stuff. I am pouring with old jigs. I am pouring with old sinkers that my dad had that we just have no use for. You can get lead just about anywhere. Amazon has it, eBay. You can go to your local mechanic shop and get tire weights, anything, that would be your cheapest route going there. Maybe you have to pay for them. Other than that, they normally have to pay to get them disposed of. But we're going to be working with already poured sinkers, just repurposing them. I have no use for these, so we're going to put them in the pot, and you can see just how fast this lead melts. It's already half gone, so we're going to put that in there. It's going to melt down. We'll put this one in there. It'll melt down pretty quickly. So, you see me using this spoon here. What you do here is you want to scrape off the junk. This is all just junk, dirty dirt, really. You don't have to get too carried away, but you want that nice shiny look that we have right here. So you got to heat up the mold a little bit. Just doing what I'm doing here, having it on the melting pot, and that heat obviously rises and goes up through there and just gets that mold warm, so that way when you pour the hot lead down inside, you don't get incomplete molds. And hopefully, if I get an incomplete mold, I'm going to show you guys how to fix that. It's pretty simple. It does happen. It's not guaranteed to get a perfect pour every time, so hopefully we get a incomplete pour, and I'm going to show you guys just how I personally go about fixing an incomplete pour. So while we're waiting for the mold to heat up, these are the hooks we're going to be pouring today. 3/0 is going to be a 1/4 ounce, and the 4/0 is going to be 3/8. Alright, so we got the mold heated up. We're going to lay the 3/0 in the 1/4 ounce. We're going to lay the 4/0 in the 1/2 ounce slot. Now, we have to add these into the mold where our brush guard would normally go, right here. So it's already cut out. If you guys can see that right there. All you got to do is lay it in there. And of course I bumped the hook. lay it in there, just like that. Do the same for the half, or the 3/8 ounce, and we are ready to go. Okay, so we got to close this up. Make sure everything's nice and lined up. Close it up. Make sure that this is sealed here, good and tight. We're going to take our piping hot lead and just real carefully, it's not going to take a whole lot. Now this is already dry, so you can open it right away. And of course we got 2 very nice pores. Pop those out. Alright, let's do one more. I'm going to purposely incomplete pour this one. Okay, so I'm hoping this is going to be an incomplete pour, which it is. So obviously this is not even usable at this point. You can't go and re-pour into here because it's just not going to work. So what I like to do is take my lead pot and very carefully just dip the hook back in there, wipe off whatever excess I have, and now we can start over. The hook's essentially clean. It's very hot. Once it's cooled down, I normally take my fingers and just pull off that little bit of excess on there. But hopefully I can get this good and tight. And just like that, a nice shiny mold. So that's another way that we are able to save money by doing this ourselves. If you mess up, just put it back in the lead very carefully, maybe even use some pliers. And you don't have to waste any hooks either, within reason. Sometimes the eyes get a little too gummed up that I haven't been able to get them just right. But other than that, it's a great way to save some money just by not having to waste hooks if you have an incomplete pour. So the next step is we have to get that top off. And what I like to do for that is I'm currently using a pair of wire cutters. I've seen a lot of other things used to cut these off. When they're cool, you can probably even bend them off because lead is pretty soft. So far, what's worked best for me is just taking the wire cutters and cutting that off. Okay, so how do we get our jigs to go from this to this? Well, it's pretty simple. Take the wire cutters, go right up against the head of the jig, and just squeeze. There we go. And very carefully, because that lead might still be hot, you can take that excess and put it right back in your pot, and it's already melted and gone. Alright, now this is the part that I really just don't care for. So there is just a little nub left over from cutting that off with the wire cutters. That's where the file comes into play. File that down. You want to make sure it's nice and smooth so you don't get grass or whatever else hung up on it. So that jig there is now ready to be powder coated and have a skirt thrown on it. I'm going to do these other 4 real quick and we're going to get to powder coating. So powder coating these, this is ProTech powder paint. It is literally just some powder coat. This is watermelon color, I believe, and this is black. So to do this, we'll do these in watermelon today. We won't even bother any black. It's all the same process. What I like to do is take the end of the hook and just kind of fluff the powder coat up a little bit. It just makes it a little bit easier when you go to dunk the head of the jig in. So when you do this, obviously I have a propane torch here. It's running. All you gotta do, you gotta heat up the metal just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And what I do is I just dip it in that powder coat. Now you can see I didn't heat it up enough because you can see a lot of the silver sticking out. So, just real simple. Heat that up a little bit more. You don't want to overdo it or it will cook right to the head right away. Dip it in there. And you can, I don't know if you guys can tell, but you can see some of it's pretty shiny down there. That's a little bit of overcooking. But not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. This stuff doesn't have to be perfect. So we'll do another one. Heat it up real quick. Dip it into the powder coat. That one, I still missed a little bit on that one. Okay. So I'll go get these other two done. Then we have to bake these to harden up the powder coat at 350 for, I normally do them for 20 minutes. You can do it a little bit longer, or you can take them out, let them cool down, and then put them back in to really harden up that powder coat. Alright, there I have our 4 jigs. They're almost ready to get thrown into the oven. The last step before putting them in the oven is to clean out the line tie. You can see there's some powder coat in there. All I do is I poke a hook through it and just break it out. It works very quickly and very easily. Alright, just real quick, I'm going to show you guys what I do. I just take the hook of one of the jigs, I poke it down through, clean out that line tie real well. Do the other one. You want to get as much of that stuff out of there as you can. Okay, those two are ready to go. Alright, now all we have to do is wait 20 minutes. We'll pull them out of the oven, let them cool down, and we'll throw some skirts on them. Okay, we are done with the baking process. There they are, all nice and shined up. The next step in this process is going to be installing the weed guards into the top of the jigs. Now, you don't have to add these, which is what makes this so cool. If you don't want the weed guards in them, you don't have to add them. I add them. I fish a lot of grass, so I just figured it's not going to hurt to have them on there. Alright, so what you need to put the brush guard into the jig is you need a 1/8 inch drill bit, obviously a drill. Put that on there. Tighten it down real good. You guys see that little dimple there where we had the brush guard pin in the top of the jig when we poured it? Just going to put the drill in there and just be real careful that you don't hit your finger and put a hole in your finger. Just going to drill it out. Just like that. Open it up real good so that brush guard can go in. Now we are ready to install the brush guards into the top of the jig. But first, we got to take some Loctite super glue. This is the gel kind. Just fill the hole up just a little bit. Don't have to overdo it or anything. Put some super glue in there. You take your brush guard. Push the brush guard down in there, real nice. Just hold it for a second or two to let it set up. There you go. Alright, we are going to let those guys set up and dry a little bit so we don't get super glue all over our skirts. But while that is drying, we'll go and we will make a skirt. Alright, so there is 2 ways of doing this that I have found. These are pre-made skirts made by Boss Outdoors. This is a Clearwater crawl. There's 5 of them in here. I got these at Bass Pro for $4. So under $1 for these skirts. It's not the cheapest way, Making your own from scratch is definitely way cheaper than doing these, but it's a little bit easier to just buy the skirts. You don't have to do any thinking, and so far they're really, really nice skirts. So this is my little skirt making kit. Got a whole bunch of colors in there: skirt making tool, rattle, and bands. So to do this, what we're gonna do, pull some tabs out. This is a brown color. Take some brown and purple. Put that there. And I think we'll take just a couple of these. We'll just pull a couple of these off to accent the rest of it. Rip it in half. Lay that in there. So, we're going to take some of these bands, put this onto our skirt making tool so we can stretch those rubber bands out. Put the rubber band onto the tip of that and just nice and slowly push it down. Alright, so there's the rubber band on the skirt making tool. We're going to take the tip off. So we'll take this metal piece, the little hook dealio, put it down through there, take all these skirt tabs, hang them on that hook, and we're going to pull them up through. Now you want to make sure that you try to go somewhat in the middle, but not exactly. You want one side a little bit longer than the other. I would call that pretty close. So we will take that rubber band off of there, slide it back through, unhook it, and there is a skirt. All we have to do is trim off these tabby parts. You can either use scissors for this, or you can use your hands and just rip it like a man. A little bit of purple in there, a little bit of green, and a little bit of light brown. So, to rig this up, take the shorter end of the skirt, open it up like that, take the hook, you want to try to get right in the middle of that rubber band, go through it, pull it through, and then push her on. And there you go. One complete jig. You could turn this into a finesse jig if you wanted to. There's so many things that you can do with this when you're doing these jigs by yourself. So there's, in my opinion, the hard way, the more creative way of making a jig. And I'll show you guys the easy, fast way. Open up the pack here. Grab one of these pre-made skirts. Now, I've noticed with using these that the band is up too far to the right here. I like to just grab it and pull it down a little bit, and then just go in here and break apart all the silicone skirting. It's not a lot, it's just, I like the way it looks a little bit better. We'll go and take our jig, open up the skirt, somewhere in the middle. Push it through the rubber band. Up over the bait holder. And there you go. Another nice little jig. That one took all of a minute to do. Very simple. I would probably trim some of this back. In the back here, it's pretty long, but it's all personal preference of what kind of jig you like. There you have it. Make your own jigs, guys. You are going to save yourself so much money in the long run doing this. These pre-made skirts, about a dollar, close to $1 to make the entire jig, and probably the do-it-yourself ones, I'm going to say close to 50 to 70 cents to make this by yourself. You can save so much money, especially if you lose these things a lot. I'm going to have everything that I used today to make these jigs other than the drill linked down below for you guys, so you guys can go check it out. You can buy exactly what I bought, and you can start making your own jigs yourself. Now, for my subscribers, the giveaway time. I posted that video about 3 months ago, and I haven't made another video since. I am so sorry for that. I have had my wisdom teeth removed, and I got a really bad infection from it, and that put me out of commission for three and a half weeks altogether. It wasn't like I wasn't out trying to film videos for you guys. I was out every weekend that I could. I just didn't see any squirrels to shoot, and I couldn't catch any fish to save my life. The first winner for the $25 Bass Pro gift card is Mr. Tully 41. The second one, William Brown. And the third winner is Albert Harris. So guys, please email me at ericlockmanoutdoors@gmail.com. I'm going to let you guys know on YouTube as soon as this video is posted that you guys won. We will exchange addresses, and I will get those shipped out to you as soon as I can. I'm also going to try to throw in a jig for you guys that I made myself. Just because it took me so long, I really do apologize. I hope you guys understand. It was a bad winter, we'll put it that way. But hopefully lots more fishing videos coming up. It's finally warm out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. So I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully we'll be out fishing. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye.